Hi everyone, welcome back to the Closet Confession podcast. Today I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna have two angles, so I don't know if it's gonna work. We'll find out. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about wealth. So I've mentioned that before, I've lived in 3 different countries, actually. Greece, London, and then the US, Miami and LA. And I've seen a lot. So I want to say why I have the opinion I have about money, what made me come up with this conclusion. Because things change, beliefs change, when you're growing up, when you go through some situations, when you see new things, and especially living in different countries that I was blessed to experience a lot of different things, different cultures, different races, different ethnicities, different religions. So that really opens up your mind a lot, and it can help you shape different ideas that you have about money, about people, about yourself. So I'm very thankful for all these opportunities. So I grew up in Greece. I grew up in an area that when my granddad bought the place, it was like a village. It was really nothing. But then eventually it ended up becoming like the Beverly Hills of Athens, of Greece. So the area is called Vouda. And that's the thing, all our neighbors or most of our classmates were rich kids. And even though we had a very big apartment, we had a really good lifestyle, we thought we were kind of embarrassed. Me and my sister were kind of embarrassed of inviting people over. It's so crazy because when I moved to London and then I lived in a studio, I'm like, oh my God, why was I even complaining? We had such a comfortable lifestyle. We had always a maid in the house. It was a big apartment with a really nice view. And the point that I'm trying to make is that sometimes you don't appreciate what you have until you lose it. I can't believe we were just embarrassed to invite our friends because they were very wealthy kids, obviously. Yeah, back then I was trying to fit in, get the shoes that everybody was wearing. There's the different trends in Athens that I don't think there were anywhere else. But and all the kids were wearing the same things. There's not really a lot of social media, so I guess the trend was mostly clothes, hairstyles, going to places. It was going to Applebee's. That was a thing back when I was growing up. People would hang out there. So I was always a little bit jealous, of my really wealthy friends. Didn't appreciate the house. Didn't appreciate the view. I was like, poor me. Then London happened. Yeah, didn't have any of that. It was a studio. I was living with my twin sister. We had one mattress on the floor. Again, I'm not saying oh, poor me. We were, we're in college, and I never asked for my mom to pay for my college, for anything. We were full-time college and full-time working at a bowling alley. So I guess that's a lifestyle you should really experience in your college years when you're trying to become independent. Of course, you're going to be poor. You haven't worked in your life. How are you going to have money? So I'm not saying, oh, poor me. I appreciate what I experienced and I learned and the struggles. And it was okay. It was cool to buy the cheapest vodka and drink before you go out. It was the thing, and everybody was doing the same. Again, lifestyle was a little bit more expensive in London. Transportation was more expensive. Again, it was the first time that I had to support myself, pay rent, buy groceries, all that. So that's when I started really understanding money and respecting money and saving. Because before it was, if I had any kind of money, we will spend it on fashion, with buy clothes and shoes. Didn't really care about jewelry. I never thought, oh, maybe I need to buy a laptop for my studies or save up for an iPhone. So yeah, London really helped me understand the idea of you have to spend way less until you make it, if you want to make it. If you want to live just a normal lifestyle, nothing crazy. Yeah, I realized what working is, working hours, because over there you don't really get tips as a bartender, paying for your college. So the idea of money and saving, it was something new. But yeah, learned a lot in London. But I was never really, even though I was kind of like jealous of my classmates, my friends back in Athens, I was never wowed by, you know, expensive things. Like I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. You know, I'd like to have it, but I was never, oh, I cannot wait until I can afford all this stuff. So the thing is, in London, you know, it was the first time I was moving from a kid to an adult, started working with adults. Well, I guess entering adulthood, I guess. Yeah. So I interacted with a lot of people and men. Yeah, I came across a lot of guys that they use, you know, their job or what they make to wow women. And I was never that person. Like the moment a guy would start talking about how much he makes and what he buys, and you know, just talking about money all the time, it really turned me off. It's not a flex for me. Okay, it's good to have money and, you know, live a comfortable life, but it's not a flex. Like, what else do you have to offer? You have a personality, you have sense of humor. That for me is number one. Yeah. So, yeah, I met a lot of men, and I started realizing that, you know, experiences is way more valuable than money. And that's what I appreciate. Like, having discipline, having integrity is something that I appreciate way more than money. So this same situation, but on steroids, I felt it happened in LA. I was doing a lot of events, and I've just met a lot of men. The same. It's like just talking about money all the time, flexing about what they have or what they can buy or, you know, where they work. So yeah, I call that the poor man's syndrome. Because even though they have money, they just talk about it like they're obsessed, like they never had it. Usually people that have money, you know, especially a lot of money, they don't really talk about it. They don't really care about like flashing. They're over it. Okay, they have like a really good lifestyle, but when you see them outside on the street, they're like, no, they don't care. Maybe a t-shirt, sneakers, and they're good. But I've seen that especially in Miami. Yeah, let's move to Miami right now. So in Miami, it's not just men that they're all about money. It's the women. And I'm not gonna say like only the young women, because it's not. I had girlfriends in their 40s talking about like, oh, where I can find my rich hubby. And I'm like, oh, what? You're 40. You're 40, 45, and you were looking for somebody to take care of you at 45? Really? Yes, I think that a man should be the provider. But come on. 20-year-olds talk about where are all the rich men. Okay. So in Miami, like the whole like flashing, the whole just renting a Lamborghini just to show off, even though you can't afford it, it was out of control. And that's why I said before that living in Miami was very toxic, because it was all about that. It was all about, you know, going out and flashing, and it's like pretending that you have the most amazing time in the expensive restaurants, but yet you're just drinking a soda water. And I've seen that because I served people. I was working on those restaurants, and I served girls soda water, and then they were doing like all these like TikTok videos and Instagram pretending. It was so sad. Oh my god, it was so sad. Like I felt way better working behind the bar than being in their position. Or asking me, are there any rich guys coming here? You know, when they're coming, like I am bartending here. I don't know who's coming and what they have and when they work and when they're coming. Like what? I'm not like a hotel concierge. So it was really sad. And I think that's another reason why I wanted to move back to LA, because even though it's a lot about money and, you know, flashing, it's not the level of Miami. Like Miami tops it out any day. So yeah, what I want to say is that I do respect money. I think it's even in the scripture, you know, God doesn't say hate money. He says don't be obsessed with it, respect it. Just don't be in love with money and obsessed. And that's the stand that I have towards money. Is I respect it. Sometimes I go a little cheaper than I should. I realize that buying something like a camera, you know, put some money there because it's an investment. I understand it. But still, when it comes to shoes and like fashion especially, is like so overrated. I studied it, and I can tell you for sure that those like $2,000 bags, that you buy, they actually cost 70 or like 50 or 70 bucks. I call people when they buy those things like fashion victims, because you are like, you're buying something, you spend $2,000 because you want to show people what? It's a bag. Probably like the content of the bag, it's less expensive than your bag. It's ridiculous. Unless you like love the design, but again, $2,000 don't justify the price. It doesn't justify the quality, the size, the fabric, even the leather. It's whatever, you know. So I do respect money. I think it's you know, I'm blessed to have what I have. I could have had more, yeah. But I don't get obsessed over money. As long as I have a job, you know, I have my car, I don't go paycheck to paycheck. That was never the issue for me. I cannot understand how people live like that, paycheck to paycheck, yet they buy things on credit cards that they can't afford. Why don't live a lifestyle that you can afford? Why stressing over payments? You know, like I wouldn't be able to go on vacation if I knew that I live paycheck to paycheck. This is ridiculous. Why people do it? People do it, and that's what can I say? So yeah, respect money, appreciate it, use it as a tool. Obviously, you know, buy some presents for yourself. Like, yeah, of course. But always think that saving is more important than the designer bag. Because you never know what's gonna happen. You know, when COVID happened, I was fine because I was saving all these years. So it didn't really affect me. And then, you know, we're getting the $600 check was even better, but it didn't touch me. But I had other friends that couldn't work and they were living paycheck to paycheck. So yeah, I would not want to be in their position. So yeah, well, it's a blessing as long as you don't obsess over it and you are in control of it. It's not controlling you. So yeah, that's the message for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know, it was last minute thing, but I was working on the Joy Square podcast and we're talking about wealth, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of very educational. I don't want everybody to be like, oh, go check the other podcast, you know. But yeah, some kind of advice, some confessions, and maybe next one is gonna be a little spicier than today. Please subscribe, comment, and like, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.